Good afternoon, y'all. I wanted to finish up where I got cut off this morning. Twitter just does not give you enough time to say what you need to say, and I ended up getting cut off. So I wanted to just come back and touch on a few more things. I will try to be brief, but I am Southern, and we are known to be storytellers. So really, we're never brief with anything, but I'll try to be. Last night, I know most everybody was watching the hangout that I think she goes by Miss Fucking Wonderful. I'm really not familiar with her. I believe her name is Katie. And Josh was on there, and of course, Kat, and then Rory came on there as well. And that's where I want to start at. And then, as most of you know, things progressed, and there were scopes and this, that, and the other that went on, and I'll probably touch on some of that too. And for the record, this is the second time that I've done this because my phone keeps ringing and I get cut off. So hopefully that will not happen again. If it does, I'm probably just going to break it up into parts because I am not very techy at all, and we'll just see how it goes from there. First of all, I'm wanting to address some of the things that Kat had to say. Kat, coming on a panel and screaming and being a bully has been your MO for a very long time. It doesn't make you win just because you're screaming the loudest and talking over people. It really just makes you look stupid. It's not fair. It's not appreciated, I'm sure, by most of the people watching, because when that's going on, you can't hear anything. But I was very proud of Josh because he held his ground with you and he did not let you talk over him and make him feel like he couldn't say what he needed to say. And I'm sorry if my phone is shaking. Well, he just jumped down. I have a cat that was sitting beside me and he's jumped down now. Hopefully it'll quit shaking then. He just stood his ground with you, which was excellent because you seem to think that people are afraid of you. And the only person that I've ever encountered that I think was afraid of you was that poor little ginger woman. I don't know anything about her. I just know I heard the way you talked to her, asking for her father's death certificate and blah, 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 all that stuff. You know how you always want proof of everything, but then you never want to show proof of anything? Yeah. I remember that. You said that Josh turned on people, that he would like people and that he would turn on them. Well, Kat, that's your MO as well. I remember very clearly back first of the year, it was, oh, Felicia, oh, Mid, oh, Tucci, oh, JJ, you people are just so smart. You're smart. I love people with smart brains. You people are just so intelligent. Celeste was in that group as well. And now it is, these people are so mean to me. Just so mean. I don't know why they want to be so mean. People should just be uplifting and joyful all the time like I am. Yeah, right. I guess you think if you say that enough times that people are actually going to believe it. No. Josh also did not misconstrue, chop up, change, put stories ahead of the other, any of that nonsense like you were trying to say he did with Rory's dog story. Rory, and you probably need to take this up with her if you're wanting to make accusations, Rory was the one that kept changing the story. First of all, the dog got hurt in the morning, died at night. Then it came that it was another day. Do you know that she even said in one of her scopes that the lady at the vet's office wanted to know if she wanted to be let known when the dog passed away? So did the dog even die at home? Did she take it to the vet's office and just drop it off and run? I mean, we know she said that she didn't want ashes or any kind of memory about the pet. But yeah, the story changed and was all over the place. And Mara, let me side note on Mara there for a minute. My video that I put up last week, I'm sure Mara had flagged. It was flagged. It came down. I really don't understand why. There was no profanity in it. There was no doxing in it. There was none of that stuff in it. And Lord knows, Mara says a heck of a lot worse with her vile, vulgar mouth on Periscope about people, but she doesn't want people knowing the truth about her. Well, Mara, darling, you may have gotten the video taken down, but the video is going to be going back up along with all of my other videos. So if you're going to try to get this one taken down, go right ahead. It will be going up on a private forum that will be made public, but will be owned by someone that you can't have it removed. So there is that. Moving on. Mara had a little story to tell about the dog as well, and she had another version that Rory had supposedly told her, that a friend was staying there and this friend went to go get laid, was Mara's story, and left Rory with the pit bull. And in Mara's eyes, she said it was not Rory's responsibility to take care of the dog. Well, you know what was Rory's responsibility? To never let that dog come in her house in the first place. She has 3 little dogs, and my understanding is that they were all elderly dogs to begin with. We have 3 dogs and 2 cats in this house. Yeah, it's a zoo, but we both had animals before we got together, and we surely weren't going to get rid of any of them. But no way in heck would anybody come in this house and bring an animal in here. It just wouldn't happen. I mean, that may sound mean or what have you, but no, we just could not have that, because we have 1 dog that has anxiety and we have 1 cat that has anxiety. And it is your responsibility for what you allow into your home. You wouldn't allow something in there that would possibly hurt your children. So why would you allow something in there that would hurt your pet? Especially, Rory kept saying, and Mara was backing her up, that she was scared of big dogs. Well, okay, why would you be left to take care of a big dog if you're scared of big dogs? The whole story just did not make sense, as most of you know. But my point to that is Josh didn't lie about anything, and all the scopes are downloaded. They can be listened to in full. And people can see for themselves that there was nothing taken out of context, nothing lied about. And there is no vet that's going to say not to bring a dog in. I don't care if it's 2 days old or 20 years old that's been eaten by a pit bull or bit by a pit bull. That dog could not have died peacefully. It had been in a fight. Well, probably wasn't much fight going on from his side, but I mean, the dog was obviously hurt enough that it killed him. So how do you know that if you hadn't went right to the vet with it, that something couldn't have been done, or at least it might not have been in pain for all those hours? It just proves how selfish you are. Very, very selfish that you would do something like that. And yeah, in my opinion, and most everybody else's, Rory, it was abuse. You abused the dog. Another thing that Kat kept saying to Josh was, who does that? Who does that? And she was referring to, I guess, Josh at one point in time contacting Felicia's father. I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to touch on that. I'm just going to touch on her constantly saying, who does that? Who does that, Kat? You and Rory. That's who. You have called people's employers. You've called parole officers. You tried to contact my ex-husband numerous times, and I guess you were too stupid to realize that he already knew all about you. You even went as far as to say, and I'll post these tweets because I always prove what I say, so anything that I tell you that I'm going to show, I will be posting on my Twitter feed. But you even said that you had been talking to my ex-husband and that he was going to give you an affidavit about me. No, Kat, that is not true at all. But then again, that twists your story up because you swear that we were never married and that my name wasn't even Duncan, and that I took the name Duncan because of a beauty guru's last name being Duncan. How ignorant is that to think something like that or to say it? I mean, do you even listen to the crap that comes out of your mouth? No, I was a Duncan long before I even knew about that beauty guru. Hate to break it to you. Moving on. Kat also likes to say that People are talking other people into not liking her, that she just doesn't spend enough time with people, and that Chandra has plenty of time on her hands, and that she just goes around gathering people up and just getting them to turn against Kat. Please, Kat. The fact that people open their eyes to you had nothing to do with anybody convincing them of that. Nothing at all to do with it. It was based on exactly like what I told Mara last week. People open their eyes to you. Your lies, your stories, nothing added up. And people started to realize that. I don't know how long that you thought you could go on saying, oh, I'm going to show this, I'm going to show that, I'm going to show this. But you know what really sunk your ship? Was when you call Celeste a liar. And I mean, I think you repeated that about 12 times in one sentence. Liar, 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 liar. Celeste is not a liar. She's a very credible person. But let me go back to Chandra before I get off on another subject. You said Chandra doesn't work. Chandra has 3 children, a home, and a father with dementia. Don't you dare try to say that Chandra doesn't work, because that's a full-time job. And you want to say that you don't have time to do things like that? You don't work, Kat. You do not work. You have plenty of time to go to Target and the dollar store and walk up and down every aisle and this, that, and the other. You have plenty of time to do anything. But you know what the biggest thing is? You don't have to do it for yourself. You've got Rory doing it for you. Let me just give an example. The other night, someone made a comment to me on Twitter, and somehow Rory saw that they were talking to me, so she immediately starts sending them DMs telling lies about me as usual. And, you know, obviously the person knows the type of person Rory is and that she's not credible. She's called Lyin, Rory, and Twizzler for a reason. So they told me about it, and they were like, can you believe this? Well, another instance was, I know a lot of you have heard of Trailer Park Mom. I left a comment on one of her videos one day. Just a simple, nice comment. Next thing I know, Rory is on Scope saying that I'm going after Trailer Park Mom and that I'm calling CPS on her. Why is it that everything is always CPS with these people? I'm sorry, I don't believe CPS has been called on anybody, period. And Tanya, I know you're going to come back and say, CPS was called on me, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm sorry. I have an opinion. It's my opinion. I think it's bull. I don't think CPS has been called on anybody. That doesn't mean they don't need to be, because I'm quite sure they do, but I don't think they have. And that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. But why is it with Rory that it's always CPS, CPS, and I know who did it. I know who did it. I've heard her say many times, I know Boris did it. I know Boris did it. No, Boris didn't do anything like that. Like I said, I don't think that it ever even happened, but I'm not talking about Tanya here today. Just another thing that Rory always says is, for example, Lori wanted me to stop being friends with Kat. That's why she's mad, because I wasn't going to stop being friends with Kat. And with Jim, it was Boris got mad because I wouldn't stop being friends with Elvis. Rory, you are not that worthy of a friend that people are upset and begging you to stay in their life. I am quite sure with Lori, and I know with Jim, if you wanted to go not be friendly, go right on. Heck, we would have all been a lot better off if you'd have done that. Would have been so much crap that anybody would have gone through if you'd just left and gone on your little merry way. Another thing Kat likes to say, and she told Josh this last night, and she said this about Celeste in her little dirty deleted scope. At least she thought it was deleted, but it wasn't. Well, it was deleted, but it was downloaded first. She likes to say people are paranoid. Well, that's rather humorous, because it's a running joke in this community that everybody's lending